Davidson.
Tonight's second semifinal NIT battle is presented in high definition by Philips. When the invite to the big dance doesn't arrive, there's a moment of disappointment. Then the NIT comes calling, and there's a moment of renewal. The NIT is about second chances and making the most of them. Recent history has proven that to be true, with memorable moments and fantastic finishes the norm, and spectacular celebrations once the games were over. Tonight, South Carolina looks to make a name for itself, while Gary Williams looks to point Maryland to the NIT final on basketball's most hallowed ground. Tonight from Madison Square Garden, another semifinal matchup. The NIT presented by Jordan. And our matchup in game number 2 out of the Southeastern Conference, the Gamecocks of South Carolina taking on the Terrapins of Maryland of the Atlantic Coast Conference. The brackets, St. Joe's has already advanced to the championship game, 7 o'clock on Thursday night. Who will be their competition? Will it be South Carolina or will it be Maryland? Hi, everybody. Rob Franklin, along with Fran Fraschilla and the governor, Bill Raftery. Great to have you here in New York for game number 2. Gentlemen, when you get a power matchup, a power conferences, as we have here with the SEC and the ACC, this always excites me. I think it does you as well.
Well, both coaches know each other well. Dave Odom at Wake Forest, so I think that's going to be a fun matchup. And a young Maryland team, 4 juniors and a sophomore that are growing with confidence.
Both teams have had disappointments coming down the stretch. Therefore, they're in the NIT. That alone is a concern. But now they've resurrected their youth. They get over that first game. Now they're playing for it all.
Time to take a look at our Star Watch. First of all, Fran will take the Maryland Terrapins.
Well, Nick Kaner-Medley, third-team All-ACC, nothing to sneeze at. A Gary Williams type of player, plays with a lot of energy.
Carlos Powell, a guy that does so many things for this South Carolina basketball team. Has a great feel, moves without the ball, understands what shot to take, and post up, face up, or put it on the deck.
Show the 2 head coaches in this matchup tonight as you look into the huddle of the South Carolina Gamecocks. Dave Odom. And of course, Dave spent a long time at Wake Forest before moving on to Columbia, South Carolina. So the gentleman who is at the other end of the court, Gary Williams, they have faced off many, many times. This is not their first rodeo. In fact, tonight will be the 26th time that they have gotten together. Take a look at the starting lineups in this one tonight. For South Carolina, Trice, Kelly, Wallace, Kinsey, and Powell. For Maryland, McCray, Ledbetter, Kaner-Medley, Garrison, and Ibekwe. Gary Williams on the sideline, the veteran head coach for Maryland, 16th season as Maryland's head coach. Second NIT appearance. And there's a good look at Dave Odom right there, 4th season. It's South Carolina, second NIT. Semifinals in 2002, and a 4th member of our telecast team tonight is Holly Rowe. Holly, let's check in with you.
Well, Ron, as you said, these 2 coaches are no strangers. Dave Odom said, I don't know this young Maryland team very well, but after 12 years coaching against Gary Williams, I know the style he will play. 94 feet of defense, and he also says he teases you from the 3, but he beats you from 10 feet. So Dave Odom says that's how he'll play this Maryland team, even if they don't know the personnel as well, because he might have known them when he was at Wake Forest.
All right, Holly, thanks very much. Very intense shoot-arounds today, particularly on the part of South Carolina. Ball is in the air, and it's going to go to South Carolina. Mr. Raftery.
Rob Franklin and Fran Fraschilla, welcome back to Manhattan. Maryland goes.
Kinsey looks inside. Gonna put it on the floor. Defensive stop. Right off the top. Open 22. Nick Kaner-Medley. And a turnover at the other end. Well, you
pay for mistakes, don't you? Just a mishap, not being ready, not being conscientious with the delivery.
Well, the 2 turnovers point out to me that point guard play is going to be really important. Trey Kelly, sophomore, converted from the 2, and then, of course, Sterling Ledbetter filling in for John Gilchrist, a junior college transfer. Watch the point guard tonight.
Terrence Kinsey, a junior out of Tampa, Florida, goes to the line, and he misses the first one. Take a look at the bench, John Gilchrist. The numbers on him, out with an ankle injury. Not going to see him in this tournament. You see the numbers that he would have brought to the table if he were healthy.
Well, Fran mentioned Sterling Ledbetter. What I've found in his game, he's unafraid. Yep. And he's a guy that can win a show and get people involved.
And growing with confidence in each of these NIT games.
Court awareness.
Back too far. So 2 turnovers and 2 possessions against Maryland. The officials tonight, we know them well. ACC, Duke Hetzel, the referee. Ron Kersey and Tony Green are the umpires.
Watch this, Ron. One of the few teams in America that presses on that sideline out of bounds, Bill.
And I'm watching Gary while you were watching. He's into the game already after that back step turnover. Good denial.
Second turnover against South Carolina. Held on to the ball. It is going to be taken away. South Carolina put away with it. Rocky Trace.
And once that drop step down.
Wanted out. Got rid of the trap. And the jam home. Chris McCray.
That's the guy Bill talked about when we were off the air. Chris McCray, much improved, Bill.
Hey, you know, I'm thinking of your comment on Nick Kaner Medley. Loose ball to get on the floor, and now he makes a nice look at the end of that.
Kaner Medley almost had a turnover on the very first possession by South Carolina. So very good and active hands on his part.
Pretty good deed by Ledbetter containing. Nice cut and feed.
Hensley missed it from point blank range.
That was a nice feel for the game. Got to get back, South Carolina.
Offensive foul. Nick Kaner Medley picks up the offensive foul.
And this is good teamwork right here. Kaner Medley knows if he gets it up near the rim, McCray will finish. As Ron pointed out, came off the hustle play. And that's the energy Gary Williams' teams play with.
That's sort of the way things have changed from the old guard into the new guard. That kind of pass was never made in the old days.
Not much above the rim. No.
Second team foul in Maryland with that Kaner Medley foul.
He has shown 2 great post moves. The jump home in that one. Nice up and up into the team.
You know, he made the guy do what, Bill?
Loosen it up anyhow.
Garrison.
That's exactly what Gary Williams wants out of Travis Garrison. Big guy, doesn't mind shooting a jumper, but should be more effective down there.
That speed. And the foul. This team rearranges beautifully. The ability to attack the rim, just solid play.
6'9", 185 pounds, a sophomore out of Jackson, South Carolina. And can he scout? Kaner Medley, strong to the hoop, and he'll knock it down.
Now that should happen that easy. Like that, and Dave Odom not very happy with it.
Ronaldo Balkman immediately is pointed to with the head coach. Ronaldo's going to come in the ball game.
Looks like they're taking away the sideline there. McCray trying to point to the screener.
Powell moved a step to his right and then pulled up and shot the jumper. Had an open look and missed it badly.
Well, they really spread the floor. See the little flex cut now.
They talk about muscle to the hoop at Beckway.
Now, the ability of a guy to do some individual things, so important, Fran. Here, we saw him drop step and come to the hook. This time, fakes as though he's going to his right shoulder, and a nice step through and finish. Solid post-up player.
Okay, Bill, Fran, I want you to evaluate Beckway here in this free throw.
Pardon me while I go out for lunch.
Well, he shoots 54% from the foul line, obviously. The difficulty here, it's really hard to change a guy's shot that dramatically when he gets to the college level, but that release behind his head Obviously, it had not worked for him.
There's more moves in this than one of those watches you buy up on Fifth Avenue on the corner. But
got the second one.
Well, we saw Sean Foster last week. Shane Foster from Vanderbilt. Same form behind his head, but an excellent shooter. So difficult to know when to change a guy's shot. 54%, not real good.
And Ron Merlin does a great job of giving you that press and recovering. They seldom give an easy one. We saw Carney in the first game. This kid has some upside, I think, and Gary says he's getting better, has a chance.
Guy is fourth in the country in foul shooting as well.
You shoot the 90s, you're something special. It's Reddick Company. It's a ball, pretty good play.
It's going to be a jump ball position. It will head back the other direction as Ibekwe got up and got a hand on that one to block it. Trey ahead on the break, and the easy two for him. 9-4 Maryland.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the SUV Championships.
Anybody can ride an SUV. Not everybody rides it right.
Pushing it too hard.
Without respect for what they're capable of, it's easy to see why a lot of riders take the role. SUVs are big and powerful, and on top of one, you can feel almost invincible.
Easy now, big fella.
Keeping your SUV in all fours. That's the idea, right?
I joined the Navy because I had a plan. I wanted to work for myself.
The Navy taught me the discipline I needed to achieve that goal.
It gave me the strength, body, and mind.
And the knowledge to get ahead.
It was the building block for my success.
Today, I own my own business.
The Navy gave me more than just a strong foundation.
It gave me the courage I needed
To find the person in me.
Navy, accelerate your life.
These gardens have the most exquisite Venus flytrap.
Oh, he likes you.
Go where you want with your free weekend from Avis. Yes. Now rent for a week and get a free weekend to use later. Find our lowest prices at avis.com.
Make this one, and we're going to DQ for a Cheesequake Blizzard. That's all right. 2 out of 3. Really want a Blizzard, buddy. Try to focus. I got that. Are you even looking at the rim? Okay, now. Just get in the car.
The DQ Cheesequake Blizzard treats in new raspberry and blueberry with chunks of real cheesecake. Score one.
Thank you, Dad.
No. Thank you.
ESPN2's exclusive coverage of the NIT is presented by Jordan. Will you be the one? And in part by SUV.com and U.S. Navy. Navy, accelerate your life.
So welcome back to Madison Square Garden. And in case you have just joined us in our basketball action tonight, St. Joe's is in the championship game. They won over Memphis in the opening semifinal game. And right now, it is South Carolina and Maryland almost 5 minutes deep into this one. And the Terrapins on top by 5, 9-4. Now here comes pressure by South Carolina. Trice gets to steal. Dishes back up to Wallace. And Wallace seeing too hard right into the face of Baldwin. And they turn it over.
Well, Wallace is a guy that the South Carolina coaching staff wants to be more physical. He had the ball down low. And with that frame, obviously, it doesn't look like a college player.
You don't know about that play, the continuous motion of Maryland. He turned it over, got back in the play, didn't give him the easy one as well. Nice ball. Movement.
Wide open on the court. Johnny Warren, the senior from Fort Worth, Texas. He was a starter last year and has had to deal with the thing of being relegated to coming off the bench.
Well, important for the Gamecocks is he's one of the real good shooters they have. Not a great outside shooting team.
He's got to be careful with McCray down there. He put a lot of pressure on your post up, and he's giving away size here. You get plumb bob and get an easy look.
Barkley comes away with it. He's a sophomore out of Tampa, Florida. Missed it. Brandon Wallace had the quick first step, but he was on the way in there. Left pulls up and cans an 8-footer.
Is that Gilchrist?
Nice patience.
That was really darn good.
Surveyed the defense.
Nice little handle.
You scared me. I looked like Donovan.
He recovered. Inside screeners that America's play. They screen down. We saw that work effectively for St. Joe's in the first game. Not for the shooter, but for others. Nice one.
Outside, and it's turned over by Maryland.
That's a tough catch, but how about this handle, Frank?
Nice job. He surveys what he's got, comes down, sees the defense back up, and then pulls up over Kelly. He gets a good look at the basket.
Stevie Francis came from Allegheny, huh?
Yep, Stevie Francis.
I think they've had 4 players from there during Gary's time.
Well, Bob Kirk, the legendary coach at Allegheny, very close to the Maryland coaching staff. Mike Baker doing a great job down there. Allegheny always in postseason play.
Good help by Medley, and nice little counter. He's got some ability.
He's a junior college transfer. Really came on slowly early, but started to figure out the difference between JUCO and Division I basketball.
Buckley, a pretty good recovery here. They say he stepped to the side of the baseline.
So he looks over at his head coach, and Gary says, get down and play defense.
Well, I love about watching Gary is he always turns to, let's say, Dave Dickerson. Oh, my goodness. The puppies were inbounds, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, you mentioned Dave Dickerson, a guy that right now one of the leading candidates to get that Tulane job.
And Gary will have 2 openings this year. Comes to an end. Well, that's the job, I think, that coaches like the most when they can play somebody. Real silly foul there, Ron, huh?
Yeah, but it's a second one on him, and you look up at the clock, we still got 13-19 left in regulation, and he's going to have to take a seat for a little bit here.
You always find when you commit a foul inside like that, it's because you didn't do your work early and you get caught out of position. That's a good example right there. Medley reaching over.
Interesting, little shuffle cut, then they get one screen and another, and the option of Kelly. 1 or 2, got for the 2.
Way off the mark by Trey Kelly. McCray, nope, not there for him. The style on that rebound right there by Jones.
Is that impressive, huh? Big time snatch. In traffic.
ESPN, a week of madness presented by Harley-Davidson continues at 7 o'clock. It's the NIT Championship game presented by Jordan. The NIT Championship game also is available in high definition on ESPN HD. So call your cable operator, TV, or Dish Network today. Way outside. Mike Jones knocks it down.
Did you see him shooting today?
Yeah.
I mean, he's really got a great straight deep.
But they call him the zone buster.
I've heard worse. Unfortunately, not better.
Quebecois, that's his second foul now.
That's his second. Team's fourth.
Well, Mike Jones, the McDonald's All-American, great range, sees he gets a good look, love to shoot it right down the middle. Had a great look at the basket, knocked it down. The guy really does have a nice collection of sophomores and juniors. Get Gilchrist back.
So Will Bowers checks into the lineup, a 7'1" sophomore out of Hanover, Maryland. Coaches like him, they say he's come a very long way as a project. Not a highly recruited kid coming out of high school.
And Davey able to put that full court pressure on. And Fran, to get back to your comment, he's looking forward to next year with this young group, Gary Williams. I think he has 1 scholarship available. Of course, it may be 2. depending on what happens.
That's right. Gilchrist thinking about the NBA, and some people think he's ready.
Another youngster in the lineup right now, number 15 for Maryland, a freshman out of Silver Spring, James Gist. And the coaches really, really like him. Both parents from the military. He says he's highly disciplined, good in the classroom. They like everything about him. Huge upside.
I like his defense, too. He plays the passing games well. That was another guy, another young guy you mentioned. Big upside, 7 feet tall. That's a pretty good start on an upside.
Well, that national championship team had Mike Martisich inside, gave him some bump.
Nice cut, a little late.
Couldn't get it to go, but Bowers couldn't hold on. They battle again, tip him, and the tip again. Can't score, and will go to the line. Antoine Tisby, who wants to be called Mr. Tisby, is going to go to the free throw line. 14-11, Terps.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the SUV Championships.
Anybody can ride an SUV. Not everybody rides it right.
Pushing it too hard.
Without respect for what they're capable of, it's easy to see why a lot of riders take the role. SUVs are big and powerful, and on top of one, you can feel almost invincible.
Easy now, big fella.
Keeping your SUV in off course. That's the idea, right?
Disciplined investing. It's not about following the crowd. At T. Rowe Price, our independent research means we're not deceived by every market ripple, and we don't chase every fad. Over 70% of our mutual funds beat their 1, 5, and 10-year Lipper averages. Low-cost mutual funds from T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence. Request a complete prospectus or profile with investment objectives, risks, fees, expenses, and other information to read and consider carefully before investing.
Hi, Steven.
Hi.
Sarah's still getting ready.
Okay.
How have your parents been?
Oh, they're fine, Mrs. Drake.
Good. Well, come on in. I like your haircut like this.
Mrs. Drake?
Call me Bonnie. Oops.
Warning. The makers of Tag Body Spray cannot be held liable if product is worn in the vicinity of your girlfriend's mother, your girlfriend's mother's friends, your girlfriend's friends, or any combination of the words friend, girl, and or mother that we forgot.
Introducing Tag Body Spray for guys. Consider yourself warned.
Get me a car and make sure it's got a big trunk.
Critics are blown away by Sin City. You've never experienced anything like this. Visually stunning. Mesmerizing. The must-see event of the year. This'll do. Sin City. Radar. In theaters everywhere. Friday.
Welcome back to Madison Square Garden in New York. Semifinal action in the NIT presented by Jordan. And it's Maryland on top by 3. Tomorrow night, the nation's high school basketball elite takes center stage on ESPN. First at 7 Eastern, the players take part in the Powerade Jam Fest skills competition. Then at 8 o'clock Eastern, it's the 28th annual McDonald's High School All-American Game. Say simply, it has been a big adjustment for him because of coming out of the junior college ranks.
Both on and off the court. And I think the big sign for Antoine Tisby is the way he's played in the NIT.
Well, he had to learn time management, which so many kids do, not just kids that come out of junior college. Craig back over on the wing, three-pointer, no, an air ball.
Well, the press works when he takes shots that get knocked down. Nice pass to Tisby. How about that? And he does too.
Just got the block. They continue to work at center. Gets a shot up and score.
Yeah, that's been impressive the way Antoine Tisby has really attacked the basket.
He really has.
Yep. And Ron, he was trying to dunk with the left hand when he should have made a shot with the right. They're lucky they got that hoop. There's that flex cut and pop to the ball.
Okay, plenty of time on the shot clock. Harrison falling away, knocking it off. And the tip. Wow, out of nowhere.
He got away with it over the back.
Kinsey was really checking him pretty good.
16-14, Maryland by a couple. Shooting 67%. South Carolina, 29%.
Kelly put it on a platter much not so sure they want to stick those that quickly.
And that's one of their weaknesses in that outside shooting this year.
How about the fake here to come back by McCray? You start running on that flex to the lane, you pull the string, you get an open look.
You know, Gary's been running that offense since I remember coaching with him at Ohio State, and still effective and keeps people moving.
Fouled behind the line. He'll go to the line for 3 shots.
What did you wear in those days? I mean, what type of sartorial splendor did you bless us with?
You know, let me tell you a great story.
Well, there you are.
I once wore, see that? I wore the same suit he did one night, and boy, was he upset with me. I thought I had a really nice suit. Look at that suit right there.
Hey, you know what?
His
was paid for in those days, right? Paul Brazeau there, who now works for the NBA.
Randy Ayers on that staff.
But you wanted to get the name of your coiffure there.
Oh, it was unbelievable. We bought the same suit, although Gary didn't know it. But I'm talking about the haircut. Oh, the haircut? Yeah, that was like Steve Lavin in the studio that night without the gel.
It did?
Yeah.
They got a package deal on the club.
Gary could have, you know, nowadays, I think I paid $200 for that suit. I got half off. Nowadays, that doesn't pay for his time.
It's amazing, isn't it, how well he has done throughout his career? And you mentioned where he started. Tom Davis is the one that began all of this, the offense, and he's still in the same kind of shape, though. I'll say that for him.
You know what I love working with him is you never take a day off if you play for Gary Lee. It doesn't matter how good you are. You could be an All-American like Ron Dixon. You're going to come to practice every day, and it shows. Guys get better.
He uses Juan as an example to these kids, his work habits.
By the way, Tisby for South Carolina. 5 rebounds for him already. 10 minutes left in the first half. McCray, they've doubled up on him, and the trap doesn't work. It's going to be fouled. Which is over.
You got to be tough with the ball against this South Carolina trap. I mean, this is one of those, maybe at home you don't get this ball. This is just an aggressive, maybe a little too close, not keeping the hands up. No, very fortunate.
Way outside. Another air ball put up behind the 3-point line of the NBA, Mike Jones.
You know, as inefficient as South Carolina has been at times at the offensive end, they are very scrappy, and they come up with those offensive rebound putbacks, and they're right in this game.
Ron, I thought they worked very hard on the defensive end today. Getting ready for this one. He can shoot. He's the one guy that nice soft delivery. Inefficiency. He can count.
Well, 15 double-double games this year for Kinsey. That's important.
Torrance Kinsey. And the foul. Better be careful there, Torrance. Came back over to Duke Edsel to question the call. Obviously, you never show up an official.
Brendan getting an opportunity. He played the last game, too. Because this guy's had nothing but trophies, right?
Yep, St. Dominic, NCAA, and those big free throws against Duke in the ACC tournament last year.
AC has really come on strong. And, you know, he's a journalism major, and he's having a stint in the media department this semester as an assistant here.
You know, it must have been a cultural shock for him. He was thinking of Ivy League, he ended up with Gary.
Travis Garrison with the Trice at the other end. And Trice has it blocked. Travis Garrison. Good hustle on his part. One into the board to the other.
One big 2 bucks. He's very lucky to get the ball back. They should have been backing out or seal the deal. Hold on to it.
Well, that's where I say, as a point guard, you always have to count numbers on transition.
But great guards can count quickly. The ability defensively here prevailing. Well, they are attacking the rim, though, huh? With some abandonment.
You know, playing against Dave Odom coach teams, they play physically on offense, and also defensively, they don't let you move anywhere.
Stolen by Trice.
A combination of great scouting, because they ran that out-of-bounds play. They read it, and how about the sensational completion? Extraordinary.
South Carolina with a 2-point lead. 8:35 to play until halftime.
Got to go inside a little bit more now. Too many jacked J's.
And Bill, we talk about this. Trice going to go. He was fouled. talk about this every year at this tournament because the NBA line is left out there. The kids come down and jack it up from well behind the NBA line.
That's happened more often than not. Not sure where they are. How about Trice's delivery? Anything but rocky, wouldn't you say?
Well, Trice is the guy Ricky Stokes told me today. Doesn't do anything great. Everything pretty well. But that time, that was pretty spectacular.
I don't think Ricky could do it then, and now with the bum knee, too.
Trice going to the line. They call him Rocky. His real name is Roderick. When he was a baby, he rocked from side to side. Rock hung on. He didn't want to be called Roderick, so Rocky is what has stuck with him.
I figured he had to be a fighter.
Yeah, good counterpuncher.
Or maybe start calling Gary Rocky. You know how he goes side to side with his strut?
But just don't call him Roderick.
I will not.
You know, Ron, you mentioned that three-point line. I think sometimes those kids know they're behind the NBA three, and they just got to be able to show you that they can shoot from there.
Yeah, well, guess what? Same results again this year.
We're going inside. Cal very aggressive. They've done a nice job.
5-point lead, South Carolina.
And Medley back in with the two.
Tisby, that's got to be at least 7 rebounds for him because he had 5 a while ago and got one just a minute ago.
Bill, you mentioned that press has really speeded up Maryland, take them out of any half-court offense. Quick shots.
And getting back South Carolina defensively, too, so they'll get the easy looks.
Tisby not there. Going to be 1 and out on this trip as McRae skied for the rebound. He's playing with 2 fouls as well.
He can dribble drive beautifully. Both ways, too. That time is fortunate.
He's fortunate he didn't get his there. Absolutely right. Out of control. Had a defender in front of him.
That shot was slightly erratic. Bobby Bowden called that wide right.
Well, you know, it's funny. You know you're not shooting it well when you hurt the fingers of the opponent on the rebound.
Well, Coach Bowden would have called it. Come stand by me on the sideline.
Here's the flex now. Pop to the middle if they go baseline. Nice anticipation. Bachman, he can elevate too. How about that? Locks it off.
Aerodynamic hair.
Oh, great pressure defense by South Carolina. Not only in the full court to speed them up, but then the sloppy passing and the quick hands in the half court.
Great denial. I read a note. He said he's not going to cut his hair ever.
16 to 4.
When you can soar like that.
Last 5:40. Let's go back and look at a couple of these things. Trice, first of all, to see Rocky and his elevation.
Tell you what, for 6'2", this isn't bad, but the finish.
But now Bachman, what kind of score do you give him?
And then take it away, Gov.
You know, I saw the denial. I'll give him a 10 on that. 7.5. You know the guy can elevate. He has to duck ahead under the rim or the glass. But it all set up by great defensive pressure. The game quicker from Maryland. They're not pounding it in. Different outlook because of the change of team by Dave Odom.
Speaking of slam dunks, Thursday night you'll see some of the best as far as the high schoolers are concerned. The Mountain Dew slam dunk, a 3-point contest. 9 o'clock Eastern. There's our score, 25-18. South Carolina, the 16-4 run.
And Ron Merlin has spent his NIT being behind, so they're comfortable coming from behind.
So let's take a timeout. 6:38 left until the intermission. 25-18, the Gamecocks on top.
The 265 horsepower Acura MDX with electronic 4-wheel drive. Because you never know what nature might throw at you.
I play 4 instruments, 5 including my car. My engine used to sound terrible. I put Max Life in and it runs smooth and strong.
At $75,000, time to switch to Max Life.
Championship continues through April 5th on ESPN, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
What's
this backyard missing?
I have an idea.
An aqua blue pool?
Aqua Blue Pools is a master pools builder.
I'd love a relaxing spa with a beautiful pool.
For more ideas, let's check out aquabluepools.net.
Ooh, I like that one.
Aqua Blue Pools, Charleston and Hilton Head. A better way to relax and play.
And a better backyard.
Hey kids ages 7 to 14, sign up now for the Mutual of Omaha Drive, Chip, and Putt Junior Challenge presented by the Golf Channel. It's free, and even if you've never played golf, we'll help you get your swing going. Winners may have a chance to compete in the National Championship, so don't miss out on a free day of fun prizes in golf. Register now at thegolfchannel.com or the following locations.
(25-18) South Carolina. Look who's in the house. Former Maryland All-American Linnell Moore. Now, see, Lenny thinks he's signing an autograph there, but what he did, he just picked up the tab for everyone's concession for the rest of the night.
Well, one of the great ones. And Fran?
There you go. I was here. I was 13 years old. I took the subway up from Brooklyn. There you see some of those guys. Jim O'Brien played the ABA.
And what was his nickname?
Bozo, yeah.
Right?
I think George Rattling's in there somewhere.
And of course, very proud alum, served on a lot of boards there. And now one of our. Why don't we bring him over here? Why not Forneberg?
Also a graduate of Harvard Law School.
Yes, exactly right. He's too smart for us. We wouldn't understand him over here.
It'll be a tough time out for us.
Oh, Tommy McMillan was on that team. He's a former U.S. congressman.
I saw him at their home game, too. They had him in the stands, so they loved their games. And after that, Albert King, Buck Williams, to name a few, Japeth Trimble.
Yep, that was the era, as you remember, Bill. Only one team from the ACC could go to the NCAA tournament. That was the start of a great era at Maryland.
And just one closure on it. We played it in '71, and he had the red carpet here. It was stolen before he picked him out of the library. I'm only kidding, but it just didn't go over like it does at home. And how about the Johnstone? He started the game with that same move. Carlos Perkins.
Well, he's not only played well the senior down the stretch, but he's been a huge inspiration for the rest of this young Gamecock team. He's gotten them ready to play in the NIT, and that's important.
Got to have more of him. He's only got 6 first-half points. Obviously very capable, but Maryland knows how capable he is.
He doesn't want to stop playing.
Even though 10 seconds on the shot clock.
Ron, even though this is taking a while, it's probably better for Maryland. They want to get away with control of the tempo.
Good point. Cannon scores.
Well, that's a great example of that baseline flex. It's a motion offense with some continuity to it.
Getting Ridley inside so he can make the jump shot, but I'm sure Gary at this point seen enough jumpers. Nice back cut. Oh, he's on pretty basketball. He lives.
Just trying to get his defensive tempo sped up so they get out denied, and that set up the beautiful back cut and good look by Bachman.
Gary says he's really improved, and I would agree, Garrison. That's the second opportunity around the rim.
Well, he and McCray, how long have they been together? Since childhood, really. Playing basketball together up in Super Maryland.
Well, Garrison, another one of those DeMatha grads that go back to Adrian Dantley and all the great players. James Brown. Yep, James Brown went to Harvard.
And of course, McDonald's All-American as well, Garrison.
Yep.
Look at this guy. He's
to you.
Well, this is what the NIT is all about. Last 2 games, he come in, scored 22, grabbed 12 rebounds, and the confidence level rising because he's gotten that opportunity late in the year.
What a pass and a great cut to McCray up the pump. And then a quick baseline bump to get Medley near the rim.
So all of a sudden he comes alive. How about these numbers on Tisby off the bench? 7 points, 7 rebounds. South Carolina, 7-point margin, under 4 minutes to play in his opening half.
Well, you mentioned that there are a lot less jump shooting from the Gamecocks.
Nice hesitation. He does a great job with that.
Timeout.
lost it out of bounds, and when we come back, there'll be 3 seconds on the shot clock.
And Ron, a guy that can face up and use crossovers, great foot control, the ability to knock down a variety of shots.
Right now, we have to get to our traffic report. Let's do that. How about that traffic report?
Traffic is horrible this morning. I get the feeling.
People are trying to get to work this morning.
Speaking of
introducing the Acura RL with the first real-time traffic monitoring system through AcuraLink. It can help you find an open road. And with 300 horsepower and the world's most advanced all-wheel drive, it knows what to do when it gets there.
We're really trying to get you the traffic.
Oh, you know what? My mother forced me to think about it.
The all-new Acura RL. Satellite providers combined. It's a movement for top-ranking customer satisfaction and 100% digital quality on every channel. There's a movement. You in?
There are riding mowers, and then there's the Edge cutting system. Only John Deere gives you the edge. With dependability beneath you and your John Deere dealer behind you, you'll always have a John Deere yard to look forward to. Own a John Deere now starting at $14.99. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Cindy.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Jan. I'm Marsha. I'm Rachel. Hi, I'm Monica. I'm Phoebe.
Hi, Phoebe.
I'm Carrie. I'm Charlotte. Miranda. I'm Samantha. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Zena.
Zena?
Yes, Zena. I'm Lucy. This is my friend Ethel. Hi, my name's Louise. Call me Weezy. Hi, I'm Ginger.
Ginger. I'm Cliff, and this is my buddy Norm. Hey.
Everybody, welcome to the ESPN studios. Coming up at the half, Jimmy Dykes, David Amber, St. Joseph's. The Hawks are flying high. We have highlights of their huge win against Memphis as well. We'll examine all the underclassmen deciding to go pro.
Well, I can tell you one guy that's not going to go pro. Mark Few just told our own Andy Katz that Adam Morrison, his sharp-shooting 6'8" junior guy next year, is definitely going to be back. Great news for the Zags and Mark Few.
Absolutely. All right, guys, back to you in New York.
31-24, South Carolina on top. And let's go to Holly Rowe, who was with a special guest, Mr. Elmore.
Well, when Elmore played in that 1972 NIT semifinal when Maryland got here last time, what were your memories of that game?
Well, I remember the fact that, we wanted that to be our national championship as sophomores. And back then, the NIT had enough marquee value that people recognized the type of team that we were. It was kind of our launch pad to further and better things.
Well, this Maryland team is using it as a launch pad to help some of their young players get a little more experience. What do you see from these young players as this season has worn on?
Well, I like their grit. I like the fact that even though they were disappointed not getting to the NCAA tournament, that they decided that they were still about winning. And they kind of rallied together, and they were able to kind of succeed here and go forward and win some games to get to the semifinal, and all that without John Gilchrist.
One of the things we've kind of winced the last couple of times when they've had some poor defense. What do you think they need to do to get these young players to play a little better defense here?
Well, they've got to understand the concept of the game. I think they need more and better ball pressure. Too many easy entry passes in the paint.
Good point. Let's see if our analysts agree. That's Mr. Len Elmore. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Holly. Boy, South Carolina. Guys, here's another difference. Besides turning up the pressure, 4 turnovers in the first 4 minutes of this half by then. Now, no turnovers in the last 13 minutes of play by the Gamecocks.
And that's impressive because they really eschewed that jump shot and started to attack the rim more.
Nice hustle here. Didn't come up with a McCray. Maryland's got to be careful here to reel this thing back in under 10 before halftime.
This is what I need. Wow, that was an armpit block. You're not getting much elevation on it, huh?
Wallace has it blocked again. With the left hand this time, and Henry Medley comes away with it.
You've seen some of that contact on the football field.
They are banging one another. Good poise here. But Lenny's working when he's not working. Analyzing.
Is that an appearance?
Yeah, he'll put in for it.
He may get the per diem.
under 2 minutes. And a foul on the floor. I think it's going to go against Kelly.
You know, he played for lefty. And we'll take a look at this first, but when he played for lefty, they weren't down too often, but they had struggled, we mentioned earlier, and yet come back.
Well, Maryland's got that 55 full-court press in their pocket. They really haven't used much, but that's been instrumental in getting back into some of those games where they're trailing.
I'm thinking of lefty recruiting, which was one of the better ones. Yep. And he had maybe Elmore McMillan or whoever he had, and he's recruiting a big kid. And the youngster's father said, Coach, what are you going to do with my son? He got two guys, 6'10", 6'11". He said, you know what? We're going to have a triple post offense. Scholar athlete. That's what he epitomizes. Lenny Elmore.
No, and how about Tom McMillan's success away from the bat? They were Rhodes Scholar, was he not?
Yeah, I believe so. Yep.
Two guys in this scheme is extremely powerful. And Garrison comes down to the rebound. So Maryland has it under 10 with 1:40 to play. And they can cut it even further on this trip.
And Ron, that was a great play, by the way. Well designed. I mean, they really were aware. Just didn't finish it.
I think they've been the more aggressive team, South Carolina, down the stretch, both offensively and defensively.
Nice back cut. Going to go to the line for a couple.
And, you know, coaches say don't let them reverse the ball, help the flex people. Yeah. And that was the defense dictating, Fran, what to do as you see the perimeter, the ability to get to the rim. That's just terrific analyzing. Let the D tell you what to do.
But I think sometimes, Bill, you don't mind that back cut if it means that your defensive intensity is pretty good. Because if you're going to play that aggressively, you're going to get beat sometimes. Maryland really, first time in a while, they had an answer for that overplay.
Gunner with the foul of his second. And on South Carolina, that's the 8th team foul. Let's check in again with Holly Rowe. Holly?
You know, a real compliment for Chris McCray has been how he's picked up his defense the second half of the season. After DJ Strawberry went down with that torn ACL, he was their best on-ball defender. Chris McCray has taken over that role. He was voted by the ACC coaches as the all-defensive player on the all-defensive team, and they really like how he scores off of transition on defense. So, guys, Chris McCray really picking up his game the second half of the season. Defense, and it's helping his offense.
Thanks very much, Holly. And she's right. The impressive thing is that team is voted on by the coaches.
That was a nice job by South Carolina. They saw that 1-2-1-1 press, staple of Maryland, and nice job of it, not only getting it out of the trap, but attacking, getting the easy through.
Well, Maryland's got to score to get it set up. That's been part of their problem.
Yeah. Under a minute left in this first half. 10 points, South Carolina lead. And Dave Odom wants to make sure that every trip counts.
They look sharp. I mean, they are well prepared. You mentioned being aggressive, just analyzing well, too, Ron.
You know what has to please him most of all? Maryland came out and really grabbed a hold of the pace of this ball game, and it looks as though that Maryland was going to, have their way. And then all of a sudden, South Carolina said, nope, we're going to change gears on this thing. We're going to step up the defense, and all of a sudden, the speed of this thing changed drastically.
Well, remember, Maryland had that lead, Ron, and then Kaner Medley picked up those 2 fouls, and it seemed like his aggressiveness was really a big part for that quick start by Maryland. And then he goes out, Bill, and then you see Gamecocks pick up the slack.
South Carolina, 9.3 turnovers a game tonight, only 4. And as we mentioned, those 4 came in like the first 4 minutes of play, and since then they've been perfect.
You can see they spent a little time at home organizing how they're going to attack this press.
Dishes it off inside. Going to bring it back out. Wallace looks up.
Oh, is that great? How about that? The patience and then the dive to the tee. He's more than a gunner. It was completed.
He was a gunner, wasn't he?
Steve Spurrier, you're saying, Bill, would have liked that completed.
He sure would.
I'll be on the phone right now.
They're trying to get one shot. Dave up, trying to get everybody's attention. Oh, he got him with a foul. Yeah, that was a good call. Clay had the hand over the back.
Chris McCray,
second foul on McCray. Guys, how about this as far as bench points? South Carolina, 22-3.
Number 22, Nick Medley is back in.
They've gotten deeper. And I mentioned some tough losses. Auburn comes to mind. And the one game that sort of I recall was Florida, where they had control. And the interesting talking to Dave today, he said it's a shoulda, coulda kind of a tournament, because if you made some free throws, you didn't turn it over. You know what? You would have made the NCAA. So they're fractionally below.
All four teams that got to the semifinals could really say that. You know, you look at Memphis playing so well against Louisville. Of course, these guys annihilated Kentucky at home late in the year, so this is a good basketball team, but not very efficient on the free throw line.
That could be big coming down the stretch, second half.
Well, it makes Savannah getting closer to 60% after that trip to the line. South Carolina 8 of 13 this evening.
Stephen McDonald on the floor too now. Speaking of Florida, made a big three against them. Jones. What hustle.
Into the arms of the South Carolina player.
How about that substitute, huh? To win and contribute right away and dive in front of the big guy. It looks like the basket, right? What a rotation, huh?
Another one of those plays that Steve Spurrier would have liked. Talk about an interception. I don't think
he's congratulated on the bench. Kind of fired. Sandy Landers in the women's tournament last weekend. Went to timeout, put his arm in a head
I saw that.
The other player, and he said, "How can you call a tie ball on that?"
Got plenty of time here. Let's see Terrell. Less than 4 minute basket. This is a big backbreaker. What a turnaround.
Always get the last shot of the half, especially if you have that lead.
Give credit to Gist with a nice play down here, not picking up the foul and getting the turnover. To hear the Maryland comebacks in the NIT, down by 13. They won by 13. Trailed Davidson by 16 and won by 15. And trailed TCU by 7 and won by 12. Take a look at that last play.
Now you mentioned the defense set it up, Fran. How about this kid, the open floor? He's got some springs.
Exciting player, but if you're Dave Odom, you're not happy. You have possession of the ball. You must get the last shot.
So let's go over to Holly. She is with Dave Odom. Holly.
Coach Odom, you're just saying your bench has been good all year. They've been terrific today, helping you to this big league.
Well, we've started different people, different games, so really all of them are used to starting. They're all used to coming off the bench. Tonight we got good help out of Bogman, out of Tisby, Garner. Those kind of guys have done a really good job. Defensively, we've begun to get back on transition, so we got to keep that up. Maryland won't quit. They'll keep coming back.
I heard you in an early timeout say you guys got to quit playing one-on-one basketball. Are you pleased with your offense?
Early on, I think it was too much one-on-one. I think it was maybe Gardenitis got us a little bit early on, but we've begun to share the basketball a little bit better now, and I think we're playing a little bit better. We just got to keep it up.
All right, thanks, Coach. Run.
So, Holly, our score at halftime is 41-29 here at halftime in New York. Now let's send it to David Amber for the ESPN.
ESPN2's exclusive coverage of the NIT, presented by Jordan, is brought to you by Mazda, always the soul of a sports car, and T. Rowe Price, mutual funds, IRAs, college savings from T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence.
So we are back. Second semifinal action here at the Garden. NIT presented by Jordan. 41-29. South Carolina on top. Take a look at the sequence here. The patience of South Carolina.
Great job right here, Ron, of breaking that full court press. Then the ability to take it out, find the open man down the lane. They've gotten away good from shooting that three-pointer, and now they've been relentless on the offensive glass.
I love the effort of Tisby. He's been very involved, and they also did some great things on stepping in, and you had a little comment on Trice.
Trice is nice.
Double. Attacking the tip.
And South Carolina getting a lot of help from the bench, which will show you. We talked about the depth of Maryland back in the first half. You'll see the depth of the South Carolina. Come through big time here in the second half, and no more silly foul.
And 4 for 4. That's not too bad.
Now you just got to keep him on the floor.
Came over the top of that little bump. Good job by McCray handling that screen.
Kelly with a spin move. So here's the scoring graphic I was talking about as far as how many people they got involved. Look at this.
And one of the things Dave Odom told us is how many guys are playing well down the stretch of the season. Good example right there.
They're going to get more with that. Well, when you've got guys coming in, I mean, it really alerts those on the floor. They better perform, too.
No, this is a team playing without John Gilchrist. They're all ACC point guard. Not as smooth.
Wallace. Nice stretch for three-pointer. Turn it off, and whoa! He tries missed it from point-blank range, but got his own. They got a fresh 35. And Trey Kelly with a trade out there and a block and a foul here.
Well, they are out hustling them.
Yep.
Around, they're just out scrapping them.
That, to me, has been the difference in the game right there. That ability to go to the offensive boards and come up with some free ones.
Holly, let's check with you. What do you got going?
Well, I guess you guys are coaches for a reason, because that's exactly what Gary Williams told his team at halftime. Play harder. He said what's killing them is they're playing great defense, but then they're giving them second chance baskets. It's another example of what we saw just right here. 3 times they couldn't get the rebound. Now they send Tinsey to the line. Play harder, get those defensive rebounds.
Okay, Holly. That makes it an 11-point lead for the Gamecocks.
Well, you know, you've coached a long time. You got to go nuts. So you beat Duke twice. First time in 10 years that's been able to be done. And then you don't perform at the level. The inconsistency, I think, is what's been frustrating for Gary.
And I like the idea of South Carolina keeps that pressure on.
That's a great pitch. Right there.
If you're going to press or handle the press, the one thing you want to do is get layups to the other end. And that certainly was a punctuation mark.
And that kind of attack should pick them up. Nice bailout cat by terrific read by the big guy.
Foul now with 8.
Nice job. Flex offense at baseline.
Which is a pretty good sign, at least from our
13.
But can they stop the opponent? That's been the dilemma. Double screen.
Kelly.
How about that? That's a little too easy. Right to hit on that curl.
And that's a converted shooting guard in high school. He averaged 30 points a game at DC Dunbar. Place that put out some good players.
Trey's out of the Washington area, and we were told that he's got 25 friends and family coming up here to the Garden tonight. And if they make it to the championship game, wow, Lord only knows how many on Thursday.
Well, the way they're playing, they'll be busy coming out of D.C. This is an interesting cover here. They stretch you out and just lob. That's when you normally would make, Garrison.
I mean, he put up an air ball. So it stays with Melvin. Very quickly, Gist, number 15, with the warm-up block, and he'll check into the ball game. And Garrison will go to the bench after putting up that wide-open air ball.
And they gave him a great opportunity, an elbow jumper.
They didn't realize the air conditioning was on in the garden.
There are some vents here, you know. When you like somebody, you say it's the air currents. I think they're just going to check on the clock. Garrison did not hit the rim, if I'm not mistaken, right?
No, he did not.
Yeah. 2 pals over there. Gary and Dave, long-time rivals. See, now there's a guy doesn't get excited during the game. We talked to him nicely. Look at these kids. They were job defensively.
Powell back to Kelly.
Pretty.
He dishes and will go to the free throw line. Rocky tries.
Talk about energy, Fran. I mean, you can just feel it.
Well, it looked like Kelly was going to shoot the ball, and then at the last minute found Trice open on the backside. This is the maturation process of a point guard, shooting guard in high school. But you see right there the nice dish on a silver platter.
Well, they are just doing a great job turning a turnover into an easy goal.
Betway picks up his third foul. Trice, the three-pointer. Remember one thing about Trice and leaping ability, personal best, 6'10" in the high jump in high school.
And another time over here. Look at these kids play.
Trice dishes it off at the last moment. Wallace.
Merlin cannot get it past the top of the key. Timeout, Gary.
8-0 run by South Carolina. 53-35. We'll be right back.
ESPN presents the Battle of the Gridiron Stars. The battle begins Tuesday, April 12th, 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. The NCAA Women's Basketball Championship continues through April 5th on ESPN.
Look at this place. What do these guys have that we don't have?
Well, they do have the rotary-powered Mazda RX-8, the Tribute, Mazda 3, 2005 Automobile Magazine All-Star, and the thing no one else has, Zoom, Zoom.
Okay, we got it.
It's the Mazda's on the Move sales event. For a limited time, lease the Mazda 3i 4-door for just $179 a month for 36 months with $19.99 due at lease signing.
Call you back.
Hurry, offers end March 31st.
Spin, spin, spin the globe. It's your turn to spin the globe. Spin,
All around the world, Siemens provides hospitals and doctors with the tools they need to make the right decisions right away. From diagnostics to patient information to care management, we're doing our part to help people everywhere feel better.
spin, spin, spin the globe. It's your turn to spin the globe.
Trade in your breakfast. Trade in your boring breakfast for a Dan and Frusion smoothie.
I have a corn muffin.
One dry corn muffin full of straight from the blended taste of a Dan and Frusion. Trade in your breakfast. A raw corn bagel. Of course I'll take it. Where you running off to, man? Real fruit and yogurt. Perfectly blended into the ultimate smoothie. That's Dan and Frusion.
That's a smoothie.
It's good, huh?
I'll take a dozen.
Dan and Frusion. The real smoothie in a bottle. Trade in your breakfast for this Dan and Frusion smoothie.
I work as a mechanic during the week, and on the weekends, we race desert off-road. This is what I drive to the desert. This engine used to smoke when I started it up. Max Life Oil greatly reduced that smoke.
At 75,000, time to switch to Max Life.
So our score, 53-35, South Carolina on top. Let's take a look at this graphic. 8-0 run in the last 32 seconds. Something else we talked about before halftime, the deficits by Maryland and the NIT, and when they have come back and won by.
Electrifying the 1-2-2, they run that three-quarter. I'm amazed there hasn't been an outlet, Fran. You get a trap on the wing there, somebody has to go back, help them out, then speed dribble, look for the post, and you had a great point.
Well, Maryland presses every day in practice, so you'd think they'd be able to handle it. I always felt you needed the three outlets and then the one long guy over the top
to stretch that guy.
Absolutely, take them long.
But you know what they say, though? You should press a pressing team. That's right. It's an interesting concept.
Like, don't tailgate a tailgater.
I like it. A little hold in the box gives them another opportunity.
Well, you know what I like that Dave Odom has done, Bill? You think about it. At Wake Forest, he was a power coach. He had Duncan for 4 years. Sure. Now, without having the big guy in the middle and all these athletes, a little more up-tempo and pressing.
Third foul on Trey Kelly. Could be big.
One time, moved on to Arizona.
Jones now with 6 with that Trey. Wallace dishes inside, and that's going to be a foul. Carlos Powell will go to the line.
That's third on Kenner Medley.
Yep.
They are attacking, and I love that attitude. You know, they are relentless, pushing it up, getting opportunities, and Gary looking for any sort of help. He can get over there on the sideline.
Well, they lost so much momentum in the first half when Kenner Medley went to the bench with that second quick foul. And down by the margin they are, Bill. You have to leave him in for a bit, don't you?
I would think this is too wide a margin. And he's got to learn how to play it. I mean, he's been there for a while. He should be composed. Don't give one away. The other thing is, where do you turn? I mean, he has been unhappy with the performance of some others.
Well, he's capable of taking over a game because, like against TCU on Saturday, in the second half, he was one of the big reasons that they won the basketball game.
Now, see, if there's a trap, there's nobody back. They're fortunate that they didn't string it out a little bit.
Jones dishes it off. And gets misses. And the foul by Jones.
They need some energy. Revive the troops somehow. And they do here all over again.
Curry tries to pick his pocket, and nobody's over on Trice.
So this is nice look here, too.
No look to Wallace. Too hard. McCray to come away, but he loses it right here in front of us.
Pretty good hustle. They got to counter the hard play of South Carolina.
So let's take a timeout. 55-40, South Carolina. We'll be right back.
Nice car. What kind of car is that? Scion XA.
I love to trick out my Scion XA.
We're all trying to do something to make it wonderful.
We have racing seats, carbon fiber hood, and the boost controller and a turbo timer.
Once you start buying parts for your car, you really get into it.
It just enhances the ride to another level.
Just screams.
Hi, my name is Paul Natividad, and this is my Scion XA.
I'm Mike Jett. This is my Scion XA.
At Samuel Adams, hops are to beer what grapes are to wine. They really are the soul of the beer.
That's why our founder, Jim Cook, goes to Bavaria each year to hand select the best hops in the world. Most other brewers just call in their orders.
Oh, this is gorgeous.
Some customers only drop them and sniff a little bit.
He doesn't sniff, he dives in the hops.
The better the hops are, the more complexity, fullness, and richness you're going to get into each bottle of Samuel Adams.
Who could forget the time that Brandon fell in the duck pond? Now, about the estate. To my oldest son, Jeffrey, I need my... Stephen, I just want to pass on... And I want to pass on to you, Jessica.
Expect faster rewards. Introducing the City Premier Pass credit card, the only card that gives you thank you points for the things you buy and the miles you fly on any airline.
Later this year, we're launching the first of several new satellites that together will deliver over 1,500 high-definition channels across the country. It's part of DirecTV's commitment to the best TV experience. Your TV's ready. Are you?
So it's the second semifinal matchup of the night. NIT presented by Jordan. First game of the night, St. Joe's advance. They're waiting in the championship game on Thursday against either South Carolina or Maryland. Let's take a look at this run by the Gamecocks.
Well, South Carolina with a 12-point lead at the half. The thing I like, they've stayed aggressive in terms of attacking the basket. And that's a good sign of your Dave Odom, because you know Maryland's not going to quit. But good energy inside of the Gamecocks.
You know you're in trouble when you're in your huddle saying we've got to match the emotion of the opponent and not doing X's and O's.
It's hard to coach both energy and the X's and O's.
Why did you look at me like that? You did see us play.
I did.
I got that little simple curl. Wow. That's too easy, Ron.
Junior out of Tampa. First 2 years, he spent a lot of time in the training room because of injuries, but has now been healthy, and he really has helped this ball club. Turnover again against Maryland.
And Fran, as you the zone, I mean, not a bad move. You're forced them to hit jump shots.
When Maryland ran that baseline flex cut against the zone, there was nowhere to throw inside.
Get good shots in this South Carolina. Ooh, what a tough catch.
Just could not hold on. I'll tell you, Maryland was lucky they didn't get a foul called on him and a three shot. That's upper violation, yeah. Gilchrist on the sideline. He can find it very hard to watch right now.
Well, it's painful, player or coach, when your club is not recognizable.
15th turnover against the Terps.
They know what they want now.
There's some of that with Maryland pressure.
But they've gone so small, too. I think he's just looking, searching for bodies that want to play.
South Carolina does not have many turnovers tonight. I think it's 7 on the ball game. That graphic we ran a while ago, just under 10 ball games what they average. Wallace, I think, is the one who got the other side.
Took over to help his partner.
They ran the offense perfectly. Got Kaner Medley in the middle of the lane, but the shot blocker erased it.
And which way did he go? He went over his left shoulder. He really could have gone right when he got in the lane.
He would have got a block there, too. I think he was in a position.
South Carolina with a rare situation is Kinsey unlucky on his line.
Well, they're just doing a great job wanting it more.
That has been the difference since about midway through the first half is the energy level of the Gamecocks.
Well, the difference in rebounding, they have more offensive rebounds, South Carolina, than they do defensive boards. Not there. Kaner Medley comes away with it. 15 offensive boards for South Carolina. Gibbs tried to turn back the other way. Wallace, but still another block and reach in on Ledbetter. And now they're really getting a little frustrated.
It's just a great defense. They're reading the double, helping one another out. Fran, this is just sensationally aggressive nature.
And this is the inexperience of Gist, not knowing which way to turn in the post. And he has to throw a shot up, and Wallace is just waiting for it. Wallace, a guy that the Gamecock coaching staff wants to be more aggressive as he grows into that body. And tonight, we've seen some good shot blocking from him.
And let's check in with Holly for more on Wallace.
Well, guys, Wallace is a guy that they want to be more powerful. He came in at just 175 pounds and has only gained 20 pounds in his 2 years for the Gamecocks. They've got him on a 3,000-calorie-a-day diet, but it just hasn't helped. He says what he's trying to do now is just use his foot speed and his quickness because he hasn't been able to be that powerful, dominant player, but they want to still work with him in the offseason to see if he can develop a little bit more.
Well, that's every man's dream. It's 3,000 or down.
Tough city to do that in Manhattan, anyhow. Some guys just can't put weight on. George Gervin, for example, who's pretty good, right?
5 points for Beckway. Got the garbage point at the other end. Under 13 minutes to play in regulation. South Carolina leading by 15.
Too many bad decisions tonight, that time by Ledbetter.
Trying to make things happen instead of being comfortable. Come down and get shots. Inhale, exhale.
Sometimes, Bill, in this situation, inexperienced point guard, you think you got a 10-point play in your back pocket, and you just got to get it back slowly, possession by possession.
That's too many grand slams in this game.
16 turnovers against Maryland so far. They're going in trying to bring people off the bench and get any kind of energy they can. Dishes it off the top, and it's taken away by Garrison. Ledbetter to push it. Garrison.
Well, that's his game. He said he's a pretty good shot. But that elbow jumper, he spent much time on the floor after that one.
And Gary switched to a little 2-1-2 press, likes to mix up those presses. Didn't get much out of it there.
But just to change the look, though, throws the team off, maybe the next trick.
Sometimes you throw a well-coached team off more when you change up like that.
Shot clock is at 10.
Just a little force here. Shot clock violation.
So South Carolina, no points in the last 4 minutes and 10 seconds. But does Maryland have another comeback in them in the NIT?
These gardens have the most exquisite Venus flight.
Oh, he likes you.
Go where you want with your free weekend from Avis. Now rent for a week and get a free weekend to use later. Find our lowest prices at avis.com.
I've got 3 studios. This is where I do the watercolors. Out here, I like to work with acrylic. Here's where I work with oils. I put Max Life in there, and from one change to the next, no more leaks.
At 75,000, time to switch to Max Life.
Got a problem?
You ready to party?
Harlan Judd and his team of investigators.
This is going to be good.
Are watching out for you.
Bring it home.
Tim Daly. Oh, they're going to know who I am. Eyes premieres this Wednesday, 10/9 Central, only on ABC.
Hey kids ages 7 to 14, sign up now for the Mutual of Omaha Drive, Chip and Putt Junior Challenge presented by the Golf Channel. It's free, and even if you've never played golf, we'll help you get your swing going. Winners may have a chance to compete in the national championship, so don't miss out on a free day of fun prizes in golf. Register now at thegolfchannel.com or the following locations.
Tired of paying bills month after month for advertising you think is not working? Want excellent advertising for your money? Cable advertising is more affordable than you may think and can deliver results. Place your advertising message on some of today's most popular networks and shows that will target your next customer. So why pay more for advertising that doesn't seem to work? Start advertising on cable today. Cable advertising. It just makes sense.
To advertise on cable, please call 266-3248.
Well, we're back to Madison Square Garden where South Carolina continues to lead 57-44. And a reminder that tomorrow night the nation's high school basketball elite takes center stage on ESPN. 7 Eastern, the players will take part in the Powerade Gymnast Skills Competition. Then at 8 o'clock Eastern, it's the 28th annual McDonald's High School All-American Game. So, guys, a little bit of a run by Maryland here, but South Carolina has been able to weather the storm. And so far, as I said, South Carolina, they saw the big burst coming at them right there, and they did a good job of taking advantage of it. I apologize. They started playing. I thought that camera guy was going to have to get off the floor. That's the reason I stopped talking.
Well, I think this is a critical juncture. This is the first time I've seen Maryland this half, Ron, play with the kind of energy they're going to need to get back in this game. But
I think the big thing, and you made the point of the point guard making good decisions. They've got to get the ball, get shots, get effort, and also get their defense set up.
Well, Maryland also with turnovers. They got to get that off their resume right now. John Gilchrist. Injured, unable to play. A wrist and an ankle both. So double jeopardy situation for him. Unable to go. Ebekwe back to the line.
He stops between fours on that delivery. There's only who can make it.
No, and that second make is important because it allows Maryland to set up that three-quarter court press.
Ebekwe now 2 of 6 with the free throw line. 12-point ball game as we're about to go under 11 to play in regulation. South Carolina, 4.5 minutes, have not scored a field goal.
Well, they don't get the quick hitter. That's just a giveaway. 8 seconds left. Got to use some judgment. And they should just put it up with the shot clock. Wait a second.
Well, anytime those arms come flying over the offensive post player, it's automatically a foul. All you got to do is get your hands straight to the ceiling, make the guy make a tough shot.
Well, he said, don't make it easy for the referees.
Wallace.
Now, this is another one of those young players that's really utilizing the NIT. This is going to be great confidence builder for Brandon Wallace as he goes into the offseason.
And here comes that zone again. They only had it one trip, Fran. How effective it is, forcing a deep shot. When he's known as a shooter. Look how deep they're having to do things.
Ron Franklin, Fran Fraschilla, And the Governor, Bill Raftery, along with Holly Road, coming to you from Madison Square Garden. It's the second of 2 semifinal matchups here. In the opening game tonight, it was St. Joe's advancing with a convincing win over Memphis. Right now, is it going to be South Carolina or is it going to be Maryland? South Carolina took hold of this contest midway through the first half, and they have held on. Right now, it's a 14-point margin and about to go into 10 minutes left to go in regulation.
He did a nice job stretching his arm. Garrison could have got an elbow jumper there. Just to get good ball movement.
You know, this is a little thing, guys, but I swear that clock moved 2 seconds and the ball was dead before. And it would only matter late in the game.
Sure. And how about the post defense there? That's mattered quite a bit.
17 turnovers against Maryland.
And Baldwin just denying him. Didn't get a good angle on the entry.
Garner looks inside. Not much of an arc on that shot right there by Tisby. Whistle on the foul. It'll be called on Maryland now.
I think Ledbetter got it, fortunately for them.
Yep.
That's his shot, though, Tisby. He just didn't get the proper trajectory.
The way they've offensive rebounded tonight, you don't mind if a guy gets a decent look at the basket because they've attacked the backside.
Well, Dave's had his guys ready as they get a one-on-one situation here. It's curious to see if they keep getting after them. Ideally, they should, don't you?
Yeah. They have not let up in terms of the aggressiveness. Even in that full-court press when they score, they just haven't scored lately.
Pretty drive. Beckway on the way to the hoop. Tisby may have misdirected that. Wallace just picked up his third.
Good ball reversal, and I'm impressed with Beckway. One of those guys that can use either hand getting it into the lane. And what that does frequently, you draw the D and somebody gets a nice offensive rebounding position.
5 team fouls against South Carolina. So they still got 2 to give with 9:35 left in regulation.
It's a good news, bad news with a Beckway because he shoots it at 56% from the foul line.
Keep talking like that.
Wallace will go to the bench with his third. And Garner goes to the bench. Kinsey will check in. Also Carlos Powell, senior out of Florence, South Carolina. Back onto the floor. Tisby has really had a night on the rebound, Tesla. Now he's going to take it too hard up the back line, tips the ball off himself.
They got numbers.
Garrison falling away.
Pretty good recovery here, South Carolina. All of a sudden they matched up, but good post entry.
10 points for him. 8-2 run by Maryland. Showing him the three-pointer. Hustles for him. He stepped on the sideline. So a hustle play cost him, and the ball would have gone to them had he let it go, I believe.
That's interesting. Yeah, right. But I love the effort, though.
Yes.
Maybe you could think a little more clearly, but that's what they have to do. Energize themselves, Fran.
Well, they've got to play with the same energy Gamecocks have. You know, that time Kelly had that wide open look. I almost baited him into taking it. I'm not sure that's a shot you need that quick in the offense. There's that sideline press, Bill. You don't get a chance to see it that often. Hard to play against.
Carolina years ago, as long as they get an inverted zone.
Bob number.
They got numbers this time.
Again. Jones out, but he threw it too short. And it was not saved.
They got timeout.
Get a timeout. Beg your pardon.
I think it's Powell.
Fans not responding. What a terrific effort. His teammates forgot all about him. And why not? A little ecstasy down there.
And it's interesting they forgot about it. Watch the pass. Not on the mark, but Powell comes into your screen, saves the ball. You mentioned his teammates forgetting about it. Nobody goes down and helps him up. But he has been the inspirational leader of this team down the stretch in the NIT.
also nice enough to check, make sure the cheerleaders were not injured.
He may not have wanted to have left down there, you know.
ESPN HD and ESPN2 HD will be the places to be this April. You'll see the NBA, the Women's Final Four, and the opening day between the world champion Red Sox and the Yankees. And that's just the first 3 days. If you don't have ESPN HD and ESPN2 HD, contact your cable or satellite provider today. So we got 8:35 left to play in this ball game. And although Maryland has made a couple of very valiant efforts of making a run to come back here, this group of feisty South Carolina Gamecocks just won't give up the high ground, will they?
Well, they have not, even with the lead. The thing that's impressed me is that they've stayed aggressive, both on the offensive and defensive end. So many times, Phil, we've seen this season, team gets a lead, they get a little complacent, maybe they don't go as hard, but that hasn't been the case tonight.
I would think Maryland's going to step it up even more, and I think that's going to help in a sense Carolina to be aggressive. Because the big thing with Maryland is getting shots and valuing the ball.
I think that's something that Gary Williams wants. He throws that half-court press and forces a turnover. Now you got to convert at this end to be able to set that press up again.
And now you get into single-digit territory. Then you start thinking as an opponent, start weighing and evaluating shots.
Bachman goes to the bench.
Little zone.
Got to go opposite.
Oh, yeah. A back way. Wow, wide open. The second tip, not there.
Well, and that
comes down with that rebound.
Lack of recognition there, Ron, not realizing 5 guys on him in the zone.
Well, South Carolina lead 2 points in the last 8 minutes. But they're holding on. It's still up by 11. Comes away with it. Misses the putback.
Going the other way with a little hole. But McClay's did a great job turning them into the middle.
Tinsky picks up the foul. 7:42 left in our ball game. 59-48.
In 40 minutes, one of them won't be here anymore. That's just the way the dance is set up. You lose, you die. So to speak. No. You die.
Warning, the makers of Tag Body Spray accept no responsibility for any injuries resultant from the wearing of this product. Any getting down and or funky, however, you can totally blame on us. We're good like that.
Hey. Introducing Tag Body Spray for guys. Consider yourself warned.
Excuse me, you're still with your old brokerage firm?
I know, but I like being able to talk to somebody when I have a question.
Look, I don't want to be out there in cyberspace all by myself.
We moved our money to a TD Waterhouse online account. Their people really make us feel connected.
TD Waterhouse has investment consultants you can talk to when you have a question, so you're not out there all on your own. You can do this. Switch to TD Waterhouse, the alternative to higher-priced brokers like Merrill Lynch and Smith Barney.
Kid, how many fingers I got up? 4. What city are we in?
I don't know.
You remember what you did last night?
No.
Remember what I did last night?
No.
He's fine. It's all good. Let him in.
ESPN2's exclusive coverage of the NIT is presented by Jordan. Will you be the one? And in part by new Gillette Complete Skincare. It's time to face skincare like a man. And TD Waterhouse, the alternative to higher-priced brokers.
So our score 59-48, South Carolina on top. And it gives us an opportunity to take a look at the Harley-Davidson game track. South Carolina, 19 points off turnovers. 8 players have scored 5 or more points. Maryland, 18 turnovers, and McCray, 13, 2 in the second half.
And Ron and Fran, now they go back to their normal 2-guard look with 3 bigs.
And there's that zone by South Carolina changing up.
And you notice McCray only 2 points this half. They've been keeping the guards on the perimeter pretty well.
Cater Medley lost the handle. They got a 3-on-1 on the break. Nice hit. To the wingman, he threw it back into the middle where there was a defender.
Anticipation. I think that was a great steal.
And they got that transition because of the 19th Maryland turnover tonight. And again, the inefficiency in running that offense without John Gilchrist is giving South Carolina some of these easy opportunities.
And they didn't have real good spacing there. Medley didn't have an opposite to go to, so they jammed on one side.
I noticed on that last possession, McCray looking over at Gary, and it's really hard to coach your point guard on the fly. McCray not really a pure point guard. And you want that guy to be an extension of you on the court. Can't be that much communication going on.
This is the second. Garrison comes down with it. They'll try to push it up. And clock going to start to go downhill on them in a hurry. About to go under 7 minutes left. Still a 12-point double-digit lead by South Carolina.
Straight up man. It's interesting. His own's been effective.
Jones. Nice. Good move and he scored.
Well, they want to force South Carolina to play quickly if they can possibly do that.
Well, every basket allows them to set up that press and the trap at half court.
Rocky Trice called the timeout.
This was off the changing defense. South Carolina goes man.
But against the zone, it's tough to get there.
Yeah, gets into the lane, slices and dices.
So could there be another Maryland comeback on the way? This is what they've done in the NIT. They've trailed in all 3 of their ball games. And tonight makes 4. And they trailed by as many as 16 down against Davidson and came back and won that one by 15.
It tells you a lot about the makeup of the staff and kids, too, when they can get off the deck. And it's been a tough year on that. Anticipating NCAA and struggling late in the year. But right now, poise is very important for South Carolina. When to go. I think you got to run your offense, Fran, and yet don't shoot quickly.
Nope. Still attack when you get those layups versus this press, but
ball touched last by Maryland, 23 seconds on the shot clock.
Now, the one thing about pressing every day in practice, which Maryland does, is you gain the confidence that you can come back in these type of games. It's not foreign to you like it is for some teams who don't press.
Plus, you're so conditioned. Look at this. Why would you expose the ball? That gets back to that macho. You want to score. Don't just give an opportunity. Very fortunate to get the deuce.
10 points now by Trice.
That's a nice little play. Get the timeout. Garrison getting fixed being down the end of the bench, but Garrison with nice response with the kick.
How many times this year have we seen against the zone, get it to the middle of the zone, contract the defense, kick it back out for the open look.
Thursday night on ESPN, the Week of Madness, presented by Harley-Davidson, continues. At 7, it's the NIT Championship game, presented by Jordan. The NIT Championship game is also available in high definition on ESPN HD. Call your cable operator, DirecTV, or the Dish Network today. Well, gentlemen, inside of double digits for the first time in a long time. And the amazing thing is, until that last basket a minute ago, South Carolina only had 3 points in like a 9-minute run and still led by double digits.
Part of that, the inefficiency of Maryland to take advantage of the missed shots. Now when you do score if you're Maryland, you get to set up that press.
And psychologically, you get into that single digit. Becomes very important for you. So stop is what you're looking for.
Why is that psychological, Bill?
I just think kids feel comfortable. I mean, it doesn't look bad when you look up at the scoreboard.
Nice catcher.
Now it does.
Nice looking play. Good spacing. Pulled up and popped a 10-footer.
Well, when you attack that threat, you cannot stop attacking that press if you get looks like that.
Trying to match up one. A nice hide and seek there in the baseline.
Look at Jones.
And that was just great deployment there. Bust to the box from the opposite side, the weak side.
Jones got 12 points this half, 15 for the ball game. Kelly dished it up.
Okay, I like that, though. Aggressive by Kelly, and the patience underneath by Powell.
Well, this comes off the missed shot from the weak side. Watch Jones with the sky, and then the finish inside. And again, versus the zone, usually teams are not as proficient at the defensive rebounding.
You know, interesting on Powell, the first 3 years, he had other people who were the leaders. And he knew coming into this year, he was going to have to be the leader. And always found out at the time, he's not necessarily as good a vocal leader, but to be a leader on his actions. And he's kind of backed up trying to be the vocal kind of guy.
And Red said, he didn't want to stop playing. That's what this is all about for him and his mates. They were upset at that last free throw, but getting into the zone or the teeth of the press there, I think they've got to keep that aggressive mentality.
Holly's got more on Powell.
Well, guys, as you said, he's had to take that leadership role. He's done it in the NIT in their last game against Georgetown. He had 21 points, 7 rebounds. And Dave always said it's because he has the heart of a lion. He goes out there and plays with all of his emotion, and that is what the players feed on. We'll see if they can continue to do it here.
Basket interference, I believe.
And that's a bad break. That was the first time Maryland's been down by 7 in a while. You don't mind this aggressiveness from your offensive rebounding. You just got to use your head a little bit. And you see that ball in the 10. It looks like Gist.
Tantalizing, wasn't it?
Yep.
And it just wouldn't come off there.
You can't really fault your player because you want him to be aggressive, but you just got to pull it down a little bit.
Tries over to Kelly. The trap on him.
Good plays by Kinsey there. Nothing at home.
Under 5 minutes to play in regulation. The corner taken away.
They're going to put the shot there if they wanted it.
Garrison got the pass, and for a big guy, he was out of control, could not turn around and get possession and take it up.
I think Medley really had to be a little more patient on that pass. That would have been a turnover.
Sometimes if you don't put it in a guy's place where he's comfortable with it, you're going to have a turnover like that.
And Jones back in here, Ron. He had some cramps. And looking over, J.J. Bush was trying to get him back.
See Mike Jones, what he has contributed. 3 in the first half, 14 in the second half. And he's perfect, 6 and 4.
They're saying no basket.
And what they did was they counted a Maryland basket. They thought it was defensive interference, and it really was the offensive player by Maryland.
They counted it the wrong way. Davies really shaking him up with these different looks here. That time the zone again just throws you up a little bit. And as you noted, not the guy that's comfortable running the show to recognize.
We've seen so many times this year where the zone is just that change up to the fastball to keep you off balance.
There's a motion on it, dives across the lane. And they are sprinting too, which drags the D.
About to go with 4 minutes left. South Carolina tonight, 16 defensive boards, 17 offensive boards.
Do not want to foul now.
Ross, nice finish. Shot. Missed the reversal. Had the opportunity. And Garrison will bring it down. Yes. Missed the ball. Penalty the other way. Lost it. Diving out of bounds. Couldn't save it. It'll come the other way.
Wild and woolly and out of control. throw. You gotta eat that basketball.
So it's 64-55, 3:39 left. We'll be right back.
You make this one, and we're going to DQ for a Cheesequake Blizzard. That's all right. 2 out of 3. Really want a blizzard, buddy. Try to focus. I got that. I got that. Are you even looking at the run? Okay, now. Oh! Just get in the car.
The DQ Cheesequake Blizzard treats in new raspberry and blueberry with chunks of real cheesecake. Score one.
Thank you, Dad.
No. Thank you.
Sin City. Rated R. In theaters everywhere Friday.
Jump, fight, run. Stuff happens when you beat the drums. Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. Rated E10 for ages 10 and up.
There are riding mowers, and then there's the Edge cutting system. Only John Deere gives you the edge. With dependability beneath you and your John Deere dealer behind you, you'll always have a John Deere yard to look forward to. Own a John Deere now starting at $14.99. Nothing runs like a Deere.
David Amber in the ESPN studios. The women's Final Four is set. Tennessee getting past Rutgers 59-49. The Lady Vols off to their 4th straight Final Four. Pat Summit, yet another win. And they'll be ready for Michigan State as well. Another #1 seed is going to be there. 3 #1 seeds. The NCAA Women's Basketball Championship Special coming up next here on ESPN2.
Well, Pat Summit, what a job she's done. This may be one of her better coaching jobs because 3 of her outstanding freshmen coming in didn't get to play because of injuries.
Well, she has a road named after her. That's what we can say, right, Fran?
And a floor.
We've got an exit ramp.
That place is not called the Summit.
64-55 our score. Gist over to the wing. Maryland's got to find some instant offense. Wallace is blocked. But it's Wallace again who got a big hit out. What is that? 3 blocks in his head.
And that's just great defensive positioning. And then taking the dribble around. I mean, that's just the zone, the man-to-man. I mean, they're perplexed a little bit.
It doesn't matter that Wallace only weighs 185 pounds. He knows how to handle it. Inside, Powell's blocked. But it comes right back to South Carolina.
At some point, if you're Maryland, you want to start thinking about fouling.
He may have gotten away with one. Oh, he did. I mean, that ball tipped around, still being tipped. And brought down. 3-pointer. Wouldn't go. And Powell will come away with this one, and he's fouled.
Let's hope Trice is okay. He's holding his wrist or forearm.
Kaner Medley came in. There's no way a foul should not have been called. This looked more like the football play. Watch him come in right here.
Yeah, you got to call it.
I mean,
That's a foul. Yep.
That's totally unnecessary. He injured the kid.
Now he's still staying in there, though. He's a gamer. Tough. Got to watch the skinny kids, Fran.
Ricky Stokes told us today he doesn't do anything great. They just like having him on the floor. Very comfortable with Rodney Trice, the Rico transfer.
Looks like he can put it down and lead this guy a little bit. They had to take him out, save the timeout. It's nice to have Donner as your 3rd rotation guy. You know, 9 points a game, makes plays, and experienced.
step to start to make this a foul-a-thon, because South Carolina is one of the poorer free throw shooting teams in the country. Interesting to see if they press and foul right away on each possession.
We see on the season 61%, NIT in 3 games, 54. They're 15 of 25 tonight, though. So over 60% in this ball game.
I just love the different looks here, Ron. They got this back to that little over the half court press. And they're just really struggling. They're turning it over, not finishing trips.
Possession says it goes back to the Gamecocks.
It's a great point, Bill, especially when you're playing with an inexperienced point guard. Gilchrist on the bench. Ledbetter's done a nice job down the stretch, but not the experience and talent John Gilchrist provides.
You know, when you're trying to come back, you really lose a lot of energy. That is easy to make your shots. They will not give up, though. You know that.
So McCray picks up that foul. You look at the scoring balance as far as South Carolina tonight. Power, Garner, Trice all in double figures. Tisby, Kenzie with 8, and then 6 apiece. Balkman, Wallace, and Trey Kelly. And I'll tell you, a good thing just happened across the way. Some fan who was upset with Gary Williams came over and was screaming profanities at him, and the house staff immediately escorted him out of the building.
Oh, the security guards at Madison Square Garden, they're always on top of that.
They sure are. You don't get away with much here.
Trice on the bench looking up and looks a bit frustrated. I hope that doesn't mean that injury is extensive enough that it would keep him out of further play should they hold on to Henderson.
Steps, no, they got that little nickel dimer. Is he with the reach?
So let's check in with Holly. She's got an update on Trice and his injury.
Well, guys, what they did is examine his right elbow. He took a hard hit on the elbow, and they're going to just put ice on it and let him sit on the bench for the rest of this game until they can evaluate it further. Right now, he is in a great deal of pain, but, guys, does not look too serious at this time. Of course, they will evaluate after the game and let us know.
Okay, Holly, good hustle there.
But how about that foul away from the basket, though? Unnecessary. Wow. You know, it's just one of the necessary replay. Medley hustling, but nevertheless, overzealous in his pursuit.
You know what a body roll, what it does, and that's exactly what he did.
South Carolina's done a nice job so far handling that full-court press.
And Maryland's done a pretty good job stretching the game. That's why it was almost close to a walk. But they're just a step late.
Ledbetter got so close to him, but he didn't leave him a place to come down with possession of the basketball.
I'm sure Ledbetter's got to be just happy to be playing. Had that car accident.
Yeah.
And got jammed up in December with an injury.
He was back quicker. He had that car accident last May, I think.
They weren't sure, you know, it was life or death for a while, we were told.
I think he's glad just to be running around, sweating. So this is good now. You can make this a free throw shooting contest, but you got to make some shots, Bill, at the other end.
They just keep making mistakes.
Gets the second one. Back to an 11-point lead, about to go under 2 minutes left.
Now you would like to force Marlon to take a lot of time. Help you.
Garrison got the friendly roll. Gary Williams calls the timeout. So with 1:52 showing on the clock in regulation, Ron Franklin along with Fran Fraschilla and the governor, Mr. Raftery.
I'm not used to being out this also. I'm sorry, interfering with Holly's comment, but I'm not used to being out this late in New York.
Coming up next, here on ESPN2, NCAA Women's Basketball Championship Special. And I'm sure what they will talk about is the 4 teams are now set for their Final Four, which is coming up. Earlier here tonight in the first semifinal played, St. Joe's and Pat Carroll. What a night, 24 for him.
That's your guy, Bill Raftery.
Well, I think it's everybody's guy. Getting free, knowing how to use screens. His cuts are extraordinary. They get him the ball at the proper time. He doesn't take many bad shots at all for a shooter.
And how many times tonight did we see him cut to get open, and that freed someone off of the screen because of the attention Pat Carroll draws defense.
So St. Joe's will take on the winner of this one. And right now, South Carolina leading 68-59. Ledbetter with the foul. 4 on him. The bracket, St. Joe's winning over Memphis. That final was 70-58. And now South Carolina, Maryland. And whoever wins it, they will face off at 7 o'clock Eastern on Thursday night here with the Garden. NIT presented by Jordan.
Point guard's got to make free throws, though.
That's right. This guy's only 57%, so there you see Ja.
Well, that's terrible, huh?
Price, yeah. He looks like he's in a little more pain than maybe we had thought.
It looks like it's trembling there, doesn't it, as well?
The same muscle strain, not severe. Kelly, by the way, is they get the score with Gator Medley. Kelly, who was the man that they sent out of the timeout, they won the foul. He's 3 of 3 at the free throw line. 1:20 remaining.
How about this guy? Wow. Handling it all.
Foul touch last by Maryland. 26 on the shot clock.
And that's your power guy breaking down the press.
I've been really impressed with the way they know how to speed it up and attack, and also I think they've been pretty deliberate as well. They have been well schooled tonight against this Maryland defense.
Now, Davey's been around a long time. First time I met him was at 5-star camp. He was the director. Taking the calls from Howard Garfinkel.
Well, John Calipari tonight, another 5-star alumnus. That's one of the great basketball camps that's been hurt by the AAU situation.
Yes, things have changed a little bit in terms of talent, but not success, I guess. Maybe a younger group of kids.
Gator Medley. Powell came up to defend him. Gator Medley comes back up with it.
They are not getting anything easy.
Not it. Garrison inside. There's a lid on it.
No foul.
No, not now. No triple up yet, though. Mary wanted to get it over the top. They've just been frustrated, unable to finish.
Well, we talked about the fact that Dave Odom, being to Wake Forest, has faced off with Gary Williams a lot of times. This is the 26th meeting, and Dave Odom trying to square it at 13 apiece. Williams has had won the last 5 in a row.
Gary a little frustrated on that last trip, unable to convert.
I think that was really almost epitomized the night for Maryland on the offensive end. So many opportunities.
Would a ball just kept rolling across the top or right around the edge.
But what do they say, though, in baseball? You know, the good teams get the good bounces kind of a thing. And what seems to have happened tonight, South Carolina set a high level, a tone of emotion, energy. And you've got to match it. And you're not going to show them coming down the stretch.
Well, the young man we showed just a moment ago, who was the highlight with 24 points in the first game tonight. If you noticed, he didn't get a shooter's roll on anything. He was nothing but 9 on and everything he shot.
Extraordinary.
He's a little different. He's a little different.
Yeah, he's on another level.
Powell makes it 71-61.
Now, you've seen these guys, Stoudemire, Reddick. Who's a better shooter? You put Carroll in the mix. I know percentage Stoudemire has been.
I think you put them in the mix. I think with these guys, you know what happens, Bill? Their shooting percentages vary because a guy like Reddick's got to take tough shots.
And Neil Carroll does, too.
Yes.
Stoudemire may have a better supporting cast. They get the foul here on the giveaway. They haven't stopped hustling at all. Trey Kelly came in, swiped that ball, almost clean.
Well, there's Mike Lonergan. Boy, has he got the toughest job in America, going to Vermont and
replacing.
You talk about the governor.
He is.
You may be the governor down here, but
He's
Tommy
the senator, governor, radio personality, successful entrepreneur.
So Mike Lonergan did tell me that because of the success, it may be a little easier now, at least, to get kids interested in Vermont. But certainly, Copper, Rapp, and Sorensen aren't coming around every 100 years.
No, not at all. But, you know, it's a challenge we all face at some point in your life. You want to get your own program, get started.
Yep.
And Gary's ready to spawn a few people out there.
There's a new coach at East Carolina, Ricky Stokes. He'll work for Terry Holland. Ron, who's the athletic director at East Carolina.
And right now, he is nursing knee surgery. He had a knee rescope. He came into practice today on the crutches.
Yeah. And he didn't want to use them on the bench. And of course, there's sarcasm by Davey saying, why did you wait to get it done at East Carolina? Taking advantage of our budget.
Yeah, Terry is pleased that he did it now.
Jimmy Passos is in the house also. He mentioned Gary spawning of coaches from their other coach.
That's right. They went, believe it or not, 4 to 7 wins, but some big wins. And some good guys sit down. Andre Collins at Maryland point guard in Paul.
And Fofano, too, right? Yep.
Well, Ron, if South Carolina brings the energy they brought tonight that we saw from St. Joe's, Bill, in the first game, we're going to have a heck of a battle on Thursday night.
I don't know if they'll permit that, though, St. Joe's. I mean,
that was my question to you guys, because they really took the air out of it tonight. They made Memphis play. As you look at the two brackets, they made Memphis play the way they wanted them to play, and did it in a really impressive fashion. Can they do it to South Carolina with this kind of depth and this kind of athleticism?
Well, I think Lee has to get a lot of sleep the next day or so. They will not just chuck and duck. If they get a good look, though, you know, they can stick it. Obviously, we know Carroll can.
Well, I think it's going to be a grinded-out type of game because we've seen good defense from both teams tonight.
You know, and I also think number 10 over there on the bench nursing that injured arm, and he's got to show a lot of improvement in the next 2 days. And I think South Carolina, they need to get that.
Unfortunately, they do have Donner, but you're right. All of a sudden, the bench contribution will be minimized.
Trice was extremely impressive on the defensive end as well. 24 seconds left. Still a 10-point ball game with the foul. Gamecocks go back to the line. And look at the scoring balance now, fellas. 3 in double figures.
You know what you like about this, Ron, as a coach? Bill, no one's going to be running for the stat sheet in the locker room.
No.
Everybody's gotten on the board and contributed.
Did you ever not bring the stat sheet in?
Yeah, I used to sometimes tell the managers, no stat sheet, because you don't want those guys, you know, running after those stats to see how many shots they got.
My AD said no stat sheets when I'd go to visit him. Well, it's interesting that we really have a team when they don't care who scores.
That's exactly right.
And it takes a while for kids to eliminate the hangers-on in family on occasion. But it's all about winning.
Ledbetter. Tip inside. Garrison tries for it. Touched last by South Carolina. 15.9 seconds left. And Dave Odom will not only even up his series with Gary Williams, but he will advance to the finals on Thursday against St. Joe's.
Well, Gary's got that national championship under his belt, but Dave Odom, talk about being a coach's coach, Bill. Everybody knows what a great job he's done in his career.
Intermedley bounced a couple of times inside. South Carolina's Powell couldn't hold on to it.
Well, you think of both conferences for these guys, too. I mean, you're teeing it up. It's great. Going through the last team in your conference, so for them to be as successful they've been is extraordinary. That's the first round jumper he's made. Yeah, he's only taken a couple because they guarded him well.
3 seconds down to 2, and it's going to be South Carolina with the victory, taking on St. Joe's on Thursday evening, 7 o'clock Eastern, here at Madison Square Garden. Once again, the final score, South Carolina 75 and Maryland of the ACC 67. The NCAA Women's Basketball Championship Special is next. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Well, that's all from Madison Square Garden. 3 Gamecocks in double figures tonight. Right now, we send it to the NCAA Women's Championship.